guys, Ash here coming at you today, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. Glad to have you all here, sending some love, some positive vibes your way. Ooh, it is cold right now in my studio. It's super, super cold. My heat is down. It's like 43 degrees right now, 45 degrees, excuse me. And I am a freak. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Okay, sorry, guys. She's running out. Did you know this is a singing channel? It's a new thing I'm doing here. I'm testing out some, some songs in the intros, I
have to quit my job.
Anyway, we have Xena Warrior Princess, guys. And listen, all the champion pass drama around this champion, rightfully so. Massive topic of concern and conversation. I have some thoughts. I'm going to share all those in today's video as well with you guys. But I actually think that the collab of Xena is actually, set aside the champion pass, I think it's great for Raid Shadow Legends, right? I was never a Xena Warrior Princess fan growing up. I wasn't a hater or anything like that. I just never got into it. Maybe I was too busy binging other nerdy shows like Star Trek The Next Generation or Star Trek Voyager or something during that time period. I'm not sure. But of course, I know who she is. I'm seeing clips and whatever, right? I'm not that out of the loop. Either way, though, I do think it hits this demo beautifully, right? And clearly a lot of you guys are fans because you've let me know in the comments below. Xena, yo, what up, girl? What up?
Want to play hide and seek?
Either way, I think they nailed it with the aesthetic on this champion. But the question of today's video is going to be, and you're going to want to stay tuned to see this arena team, dude. I almost wanted to make this a new video, like a separate video, had nothing to do with Xena, because I love this team so freaking much, and I made a video on them before. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll get there in about 3 or 4 minutes. 3 or 4 minutes.
I'm about to start crying.
Let's go over Kit really quickly, then I want to talk about the pass, and then I want to talk about what she does and what she doesn't do very well. Honor A1 Sword of Redemption is a 2-time hitter, ignoring defense 3%. For each buff on the target, okay? We'll also ignore shield buffs if the target's under 2 or more buffs or debuffs. On the A2, Chakram Cyclone is an AoE 3-turn cooldown. Ignore 5% of each target's defense for each buff on the target. It's also stealing 20% of the turn meter from each enemy. This is beautiful, right? Obviously, if we're attacking 5 enemies and we steal 20% from everybody, we fill up the turn meter again. Even in the arena against 4 enemies, we have a potential 80% turn meter steal, which is really valuable. I love that move, and it can't be resisted if the target's under 2 or more buffs or debuffs. I love that it's buffs or debuffs because whether you have a Madame Sarah setting things up for you on a go first team, or whether the other team goes first and buffs up, or whatever the case may be, you're likely not going to need accuracy on this champion with this A2 if you play your cards right, which I love, right? Whip of Destiny. Very cool animation on this A3. She's got the Indiana Jones, or I guess Xena Warrior Princess. Maybe that's the next collab, Indy, or maybe it's Star Trek. Maybe it's Worf in the game. What would Worf be? Skinwalker? Anyway, I digress. Attacks all enemies, ignoring 10% of the target's defense for each buff on the target, okay? Resets the cooldown of the skill by if we kill 2 or more enemies. So essentially we can come in with the A2, we can steal the turn meter, go again pretty quickly with the A3, kill 2 opponents, come back in and do it all again if everything goes perfectly, right? For the greater good, 3-turn cooldown on the active effect, okay? On the passive, increases champion's attack by 10%. Each time they use an active skill, up to 100%. Very, very nice there. Great for clan boss, great for Hydra clan boss as well. Resets each round. Also has a 50% chance of randomly changing this champion's weak hits to normal, strong, or critical hits. This is great because this is going to mitigate the affinity disadvantage going against spirit affinity champions inside the game. We love it. Active effect fills the champion's turn meter by 100%, places an increased attack, big version buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever 8 or more buffs are placed on the enemy team in a single turn. I like this as well. I really like this move, right? So if the other team goes first and they get really buff happy, maybe a Siffi's on the other team, maybe a Duchess, maybe both, she's just gonna go, boom, I'm next in line. She's gonna cut everybody, 100% turn meter and the increased attack. You love to see it. Very cool kit. Attack and arena bows by 33% on the aura as well on Xena. What do people say about her so far? I mean, the reviews are pretty glowing in here. Of course, maybe it's a little bit of buyer's affinity, right? Maybe you're just like, I paid $60 for her, so I'm going to give her a 5 in every category to make myself feel better about my expenditure.
Looks like my plan is working.
In all sincerity, though, she's a very cool nuker, but she's not a must. I don't think she's a must-have. I think she's very cool. You know, to compare to another nuker in the game, right? And you can argue she's better or worse, and I might agree with you either way. And she's quite different. It's not a direct comparison, meaning that they do the same thing. I'm just talking about like tier level. I would kind of put her in the ballpark of Heffrak, right? So do I think that Heffrak is an absolute game changer? No. Do I think it's a great nuker that almost everybody can use? Yes. So that's kind of how I feel about Xena Warrior Princess. Do I think she's worth the $60 it costs to buy her outright? Hell to the no, man. Like most of these passes, I recommend if you are going to spend on them, right? If you are going to spend, I'm going to show you the build in a second, but I got to get to this arena team. I love it so much. If you are going to spend on these champions, these passes, just buy the pass, you know, for $40 US, and then see if you can complete it, you know, without needing to spend the rest. It's not like you don't, I mean, I bought it because I'm making content for her here on the YouTube channel, you know, for those of you who do pull her in the text event, blah, blah, blah. But I would not, even spending on the game, I wouldn't buy the extra levels. To me, it's kind of dumb, because now here I am every day, right now, clearing these extra, you know, objectives, and I'm getting nothing for it, and it doesn't feel that good because I knew I blew 20 extra US dollars to get the champion. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is it worth it? Hell no.
This is the kind of talk I like.
It's not even worth the $40, to be honest with you guys, but we're playing Raid Shadow Legends where they charge us for seemingly everything. That's a lie, because they gave us Sun Wukong for free, who I'm using right in this battle.
And I am also immortal.
They give you a lot of good free champions. That's the truth of the matter. But hey, if you pull her doing it during a 10x, a lot of you guys saying, Ash, I am near my mercy. I'm going to go for her in the 10x. I don't think I'll get her because 10x's are also a scam because the champion pool is so damn watered down right now. But if you do get her, this video is for you guys, okay? So what can she do? I put her on my favorite arena team of all time. So you're getting 2 videos in one right now, guys, because man, I wanted to make another video on this team, dude. It is the funnest freaking team known to man, bro. It is Heffrak and Stoneskin, right? It's Sun Wukong, it's Nogdar the Headhunter, and it's Xena. Everybody died. It was the kamikaze at the very end there. Did you see that, guys? That was wild. That was Gaius as well. His bomb's responsible. So I want to pay attention to Xena here. I want to go ahead and show you the presets as well. And I also want to show you multipliers and all that stuff, masteries, all the good stuff. So we're going to come in here with, you can see I have her in Stone Skin. I have her in a 6-piece Stone Skin. She's ignoring quite a bit of defense anyway, and I found out that she can hit pretty dang hard. She's not like a Jirigid the Breaker in terms of her nukage of potential, but she can smack pretty dang hard, which is nice, you know? Let's do this. Let's do this. Look at this team, by the way. Nogdar's dead. Nogdar denied by it doesn't, Lydia can't stop this team, man. Are you kidding me? Lydia can only deny 1 revival. I've got 2 instant self-revivers and then 2 stone skins on this team. It's pretty nasty. I feel like I can just auto into any team with this squad and just beat them automatically. Granted, not in like top platinum, but it's pretty wild, I gotta say. Anyway, I have the auto going in on the A2. I noticed that sometimes Xena goes in with the A3 as well. I like her going in with the A2 to steal that turn meter and then come back around with the A3 instead. But look at this team, they just keep coming back to life. It's really insane.
Those are my relatives.
There she goes with the A2, and you can see the turn meter. Not a lot of stealing there, honestly. Not a lot of stealing. They were under a couple buffs, but hey, this is going to be GG's again. I mean, do you see how wild this team is? Sorry, we're not even focusing too much on Xena right now, and we should be.
My life in the limelight.
I just wanted to brag a little bit about, not even brag, it's not like it's a genius effort to put this team together. It's just a bunch of self-revivers synergizing with Heffrak as well on his passive, and Xena is just kind of the sugar, or the cherry, I should say, on top. So let me show you how I set up this team really quickly here. It should be pretty intuitive, but we have Sun Wukong. I actually want him to come in most often with the A3. Usually he'll open up with Staff of Wonder. Heffrak, nothing. Nogdar, nothing. And Xena coming in with the Chakram Cyclone as the opener there. But let's just keep going down the line with this squad. Now let's pay attention to the damage here on Xena as well. I haven't really been blabbing about the team so much that I haven't really been focusing too much on that. 25 to 30k on Nogdar. We had around, like, I don't know, 18 to 45k on the A2 of Xena there. It's hard to kind of apples and oranges a little bit there, but let's go ahead and just keep going down the line. I just want to keep tackling these more challenging teams as we progress here in the arena and see what she can do. Where else are we using this champion, though? Obviously, she's an arena champion, right? And I hear a lot of people saying, yeah, You know, I don't love PV. I saw this comment on like the Facebook page or something. That's right. I look at the Facebook page of Raid Shadow Legends. I have to. It's my job. All right. I wouldn't normally. Do you guys use Facebook? No offense if you do. No offense. No offense. I gave it up a long time ago, Facebook, and I used to be, I wouldn't say like an addict or anything like that, but I used to spend like a decent amount of time on Facebook. Then about maybe like 5 to 10 years ago in that time frame, I just totally stopped using it other than looking at Raid Shadow Legends and other video games that I cover. And I have to say, it's kind of like it was the best thing I did in a while. Like, it just made me a lot less, it made me, we might lose this one, guys. I don't know.
Maybe you should focus a little bit more on this life.
It made me a lot less anxious, I guess, you know, just finding a lot of people that I ranting and raving and upset and that I agree with or disagree with and mad at each other all the time and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I think we're going to lose our first battle here, guys. Xena, she had a little hesitation move, a little juke, a little Euro step on her way to UDK, but it looks like we are going to lose our first battle. What is this team here? Dude, it's a little pet peeve that I have, but I hate the 4 defensive champions on in the arena. But hey, a loss is a loss. We'll take the L. We'll take the L. Let's move on though to a team that's not, well, that team, right? Let's go to this squad over here instead, right? Where else are we using Xena, Warrior Princess in the game, guys? I think the best area to use her outside of arena is going to be Dark Fae, right? I think she's going to be a beast. Now, I can't show you because there's no Dark Fae going on. That was some decent damage. You can see her damage is not out of this world. I'll show you the build in just a moment here. Her kit is really awesome, but I wouldn't say she's like a super elite damage dealer, really. You know, like, good, but it's all predicated on ignoring that defense, right? So we need those 2 or more buffs, or we need as many buffs and or debuffs as possible there. But it's really good damage though, right? It's good. It's just, I wouldn't say it's like Taurus damage or like, you know, that absolute next level monster. But back to, uh-oh, she's gonna finish this off on her own? Oh, she isn't. How did she die there? Wait, did I miss something? Was she bombed? She must have been bombed. I want revenge against this team. Dark Fae, guys. Think about it this way. She goes in and she helps with the control with the turn meter steal, of course. But she can also go in and kill our own mirror copies, right? Let's see. I'm going to take it off auto because I want to make sure I win this one. Let's slow it down for a second. Steals turn meter if they're under 2 or more buffs. So this is going to be able to be resisted on the A2 right now. So I think instead, for each buff, there's no buffs on, I mean, there is one buff there, but it's not going to matter. Let's just test out her A1. So 12, 16k, granted no debuffs, but it's not too crazy. Cardinal, go ahead and revive everybody, and let's take this damage. Here comes the bombs. Sun Wukong is going to revive himself. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. What happened last time? I don't even notice, but I didn't notice, excuse me, but anyway, her A1's not that crazy. Let's take a look, though. Again, you're noticing something here by looking at it, right? This is a shout out to hellhades.com. This is the website that we're on right now. You can see all your champions and multipliers and all their ratings and mastery recommendations and all that stuff, right? Anyway, back to Dark Fae real quick, right? I've been trying to make this point for 10 minutes. This is why I'm awful, awful, awful YouTuber. That and the stupid singing in the beginning of videos.
I think you're being a little hard on yourself.
You turn meter steal, great for Dark Fae, right? Also great for your mirrored copies. You can ignore defense. I mean, set her up with a debuff or whatever. You're going to be able to smack everybody, right? So I feel like she definitely got some potential there. I also feel like Hydra, she's going to be like serviceable. I'll run like maybe 50 rounds of a Hydra at the end of this video just to do a quick damage check. I just don't think she's going to be elite in a Hydra, but I do think serviceable. Anyway, let's try her on a go first team in the arena after this really quickly to see how she does with a debuffer in front of her, right? A 1.8 on the A1 is a 2-time hitter. A 4 on the A2. Again, very mediocre multiplier. But you do have to factor in all that ignore defense built in the turn meter steal, and then a 4.1 multiplier on the A3. So the multipliers are not out of this world, but they're definitely, you know, they're solid considering the ignore defense built in. Now, of course, I could have her in Savage or Lethal Gear. I think that's probably going to be you know, the most popular build, I would say, for this this champion is Savage or Lethal, but I do like her in Stone Skin as well. Just keep her alive, give the enemy time to get either buffed or debuffed to ignore that extra defense, right? So I think there's two ways you can definitely build this champion. Let's go ahead and, do I have any go first team? I do. Let's take Trunda out, and let's put her in a go first situation instead, just to see how she does here instead with debuffs on the targets. I'm not sure if I'll win this speed race. We'll find out in just a moment. And we do. All right. So we don't have her speed tune, but we do have a Kymar going ahead of her. So here comes the debuffs. Now we can actually, oh gosh, let's just A1 here. Now we can actually try out her A2. So A2, ignore 5% of the target's defense for each buff on the target. That's not going to matter. And again, for each buff on the target on the A3, so we might as well go with the A2. We can steal turn meter. They're all under 2 or more debuffs, right? So let's steal. We should have 80%. Well, dead. Here we go, guys. Going against this squad. I have to say, I kind of like her better on a go first team so far, right? I'm not sure if I would run her with a 2-piece Stone Skin, though. I think I'd just go with Savage or Lethal on a team like this, right? Okay, we go in, we debuff. Again, I'm going to try her A2 one more time. Boom. I love that there's no weak hits, too. Or I should say, there's a chance of no weak hits. And keep in mind, she powers up as she goes. So she went in with a nuke. The enemy team hasn't even gone yet. And she already gets another turn because of that turn meter steal. That's kind of handy, right? She comes in with an A3, and we're doing, you know, decent damage. Granted, they're not under any buffs. Here comes another, like, fast team here, right? Got Razzlevarg, they got Iron Gut, they got Michinaki. Some of my favorite champs on this squad, honestly. I've been thinking, I pulled Grazer Iron Gut, right? 2 shard. I'm going to open up with the A3 this time just to test the damage. Although I would, not bad. Not bad damage-wise. I pulled Iron Gut. I'm using him in a Relentless build right now. I'm probably going to do a guide on him on the Champion Guide channel. I just want to go for another, like, super tanky team. Does Tanky go first? They get Helicast? Sure, why not? But I'm thinking about building Iron Gut for the arena, maybe, instead. Not that I can't use him, obviously, in Hydra. He's a monster in Hydra, but I need another increased defense champion that's, like, super optimized for PvP on my account. Let's go A2 again. A2 seems to, even though the multiplier is a 4 versus a 4.1, I feel like it hits a little bit higher anecdotally so far. Anyway, you guys see what she does in the arena. Definitely a very competent nuker. Would you believe in live arena, guys? I went against somebody who had a +3 Xena? How is that even possible? How is a +3 Xena possible? Have we already had a 10-time event? When is the first 10x event? I guess we must have already had it. How else could he have a +3 Xena? That's wild. That's wild to me. Anyway, that really happened. I digress. Let me show you a quick Hydra. Let me show you the build, and let me show you a quick Hydra. So, TLDR, is she worth it? No. I mean, we're playing a video game that, like I said in the beginning, right? We don't own these characters. We don't even own our account. Legally, we don't even own our account. You know, we're paying for pixels on a screen. You know, I hate to say it because it's like, yeah, dude, you're whatever. But it's still the truth, you know? So is she worth it? No, you can definitely get by without Xena, Warrior Princess. She's not Taurus. She's not, you know, she's not one of these. She's not Jirigid. She's not Leo. She's not even Canderfawn, I don't think, you know, honestly. And that's not a shot at Canderfawn. I'm like, not even Canderfawn. She's no Rotos. She's not an elite S-tier nuker, in my opinion. It's been early on, too. But she's definitely a notch down below that. Maybe like an A-, something around that. Like, I think she's good. But she's not, I don't think she's a must-have. Like, dude, you really need to drop everything and pay for this champion, you know? Here's what we have on her for Masteries. We went down the offense, down the defense. We ended up with Retribution and with Deterrence. It's nice to have the A1. It didn't smack that hard, honestly, but it does have that ignore defense potential, so I love the counterattacks. I decided to totally neglect accuracy, even though it can come in handy for the A2, because it's not always guaranteed it's going to be irresistible, that turn meter reduction. On the offensive side of things, I didn't need the crit rate, so I went with an attack instead. Obviously, go with what's right for you. I did come down, picked up all my favorite arena masteries. Now, I see kind of a debate amongst like high-end min-maxers in the game. Should you go with Heart of Glory, increase your damage by 5% when attacking with full HP for the arena? Or should you go with Shield Breaker, increase damage inflicted to targets under shield buffs by 25%? I personally go Shield Breaker, although a lot of endgame players go with Heart of Glory, so it depends on what you prefer. I prefer Shield Breaker because I feel like everybody is running a bolster set nowadays, and I'd rather have that. Of course, I come back down Ruthless Ambush. I pick up Bring It Down as well, and we end off with Helm Smasher as our Tier 6 Mastery. So those are the Masteries, guys. Really quickly on the artifacts, we have total stats you guys can see, 101, 260 on the crit rate, crit damage. Accuracy, I ignored, 210 speed, and 5,700 on the attack. Stat priorities are obviously going to be survivability, depending on where you're using her. In the arena, a little bit less important, but survivability, crit rate, crit damage. I mean, she's fairly easy to build with that irresistible A2 because it's the only reason that you would need accuracy in her kit. And keep in mind, her attack is going to ramp up over time as well. We have attack on the banner, we have crit damage on the amulet, we have attack on the ring, we have crit damage on the gauntlets, we have attack percentage on the chest, we have speed on the boots with a nice ascension there. I didn't even ascend all this gear. Let me just see if we get lucky here on the chest. Nope, we didn't get lucky, but we'll take the defense, right? We'll take it. Anything else? Nothing too exciting here. So that's the build, guys. Blessings on Xena Warrior Princess. I mean, all the nuker blessings, essentially, right? If you're using her in, a Hydra situation or a really strong PvE environment, Doom Tower Waves or something like that, you could go Brimstone. Obviously, it would help you out against Dark Fae as well. But I think the more popular options will be Soul Reap. Of course, you get extra attack, crit damage, speed off of Soul Reap as well. I love Soul Reap personally. It doesn't require accuracy or anything like that. Other options would be potentially Cruelty, as well as Crushing Rend, right, on this champion. I mean, heck, if you wanted to, if you're using her in, like Fire Knight for the Turn Meter Steal and the, double hitter on the A1, you could go Phantom Touch or something like that as well. So those are the options there. Let me run a quick, let me just see where Hell Hades had her ranked. He gives a Clan Boss 4 out of 5, Doom Tower Waves 4 out of 5, Hydra 3.5 out of 5, Fire Knight 4 out of 5, Spider 4 out of 5. Fire Knight and Spider are definitely her best 2 dungeons, and Dark Fae a 5 out of 5. Glad to see that as well, that he agrees there. Arena a 5 out of 5 as well. Overall champion grade is going to be a... I can't find it. I think I saw 4 earlier on this, so I would pretty much agree with that as well. Let me do a quick Hydra run here, guys. We're getting a little bit longer than I intended this video to be. I feel like I've been in an extra rambly mood, so apologies for that. We're just gonna run around the basically the team I already had set up for Hydra Hard. Let's see how she does, guys. I'm gonna run it for about maybe 50 turns. Now, I would definitely not have her. If you get Xena somehow, and you don't care about Arena that much. And I only say because I found quite a few of those comments on Facebook, back to my point I was making 15 minutes ago, right? That, hey, I don't really like PvE or PvP, but I'm still going to go for Xena. First of all, I think it makes no sense to go for Xena only for PvE, just given the cost, personally. But hey, if you happen to pull her during 10x, I'd probably build her in Relentless for Hydra Clan Boss, right? Relentless for Hydra Clan Boss, or just go Savage and Lethal and just use her everywhere, like Dark Fae, etc. But keep in mind, Fire Knight, Spider, Hydra Clan Boss, regular Clan Boss, Dark Fae, you could use her in other areas as well. Doom Tower Nuker. I don't think that we should put her in a box as just an arena champion, even though that's clearly where she shines the most, right? So already I'm seeing that quite a few buffs on the other Hydra heads. I'm not happy about that. I'm also not very thrilled with our damage, considering this is hard, and considering we have about 15 Void Legendaries on the team. We should be doing a little bit better. Either way, though, we're not going to keep this result. I'm going to run it for about 50 turns, come back to you guys, and we'll do a quick damage check, just comparing her to other DPS on the team, and we'll go from there. Be right back. All right, guys, 84 million damage in 72 turns. She just got eaten, but not totally devoured. So let's go ahead and end the battle and see where things stand with Xena Warrior Princess. So she puts out a pretty dang respectable 13 million damage. Not too bad. We do have Krisk built in crit damage as well, like min-maxing his damage output. Let's see, we have Mithrala putting down the Hex. She put out 8 million as well. So definitely a very respectable Hydra clan boss damage dealer. I'm sure her damage would be even a little bit better with that Savage or Lethal Gear instead of Stone Skin. But all in all, I would say that Xena is a very capable champion, a very good champion, but definitely not a must-have champion.
Shit, by the way, how many times are you going to say that?
If you're on the fence, or if you can't afford, or if you're not a spender, this would not be the reason, personally, that I would advocate players come out of their free-to-play zone if you're on the fence or if you're even flirting with the idea. To me, it's, you know, she's nice, but she's not a must-have. You guys let me know what you think of this champion Xena warrior princess inside the game. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.